coming back to Vegas in, what is it, August 26th. Duran Duran. Can I ask you, John, one of the founding members of the band, the first question I had as you started out as a group, did you have like, all right, if we're going to do this, I just want to be able to get to this level. Like if we get on the radio, that will be fine with us. Did you ever expect it to go this long, get this big, to the point where you just recently inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
I had a 4-year plan, and I wanted to get to Madison Square Gardens.
That was it.
And we did. We made it. We made it to the Gardens in 4 years. And I don't know. I was such a aficionado of the game, shall we say. I just thought, like, we got to get here, and then we got to get there, and then we got to get there. And Duran, the original Duran Duran, still today, but the original Duran Duran was such a driven, ambitious, powerful team of young guys, and there was no stopping us, basically. And in some ways, it was almost like once we got there, we made it to the Gardens in '84. I didn't really know what to do after that for a while. I had to kind of reset my my target. It took me a little while, and there was I thinking I'd been really ambitious, but I had to think, well, hang on a second, if this is going to be a life's work, what are we really going to do? But then it becomes about life, right? I mean, we, obviously you have dreams for your work and what you want to achieve with work, but then there's family, and there's all sorts of targets you set for yourself.
Yes, it gets a little complicated, right?
Yeah.
John, I was going to say, I know also a long time ago, thank God for MTV, but you guys were kind of discounted back then. Well, they're flashy, pop music. We're not going to take them seriously, but boy, did you guys change. I mean, everyone's tune after I want to say an album or two. I mean, you were taken seriously.
Well, sometimes you just really got to bash people over the head, and you're never going to please all the people, but like we had this incredible teen following when we first came out, and which none of us expected, that we didn't expect. And I think that just, I think that the sort of what should we say, the serious music critics were just like, how could they possibly be real? How could they be that cute and that
being
authentic?
Exactly, because you guys weren't bad looking. I mean, you all were good looking guys, and but it almost had to hurt you, right?
Well, it wasn't something that we really thought about. I mean, look, what are you going to do? I mean, it was a quality problem. What can I say?
See, we wouldn't know anything about that, but nonetheless.
Yeah, listen, I mean, the thing about that kind of success is it just doesn't last. So you have to replace it with something more durable. And the only way, and we had kind of, like, I would say there was a period, probably from the mid '80s up until the early '90s, where we really just had to get our heads down. The band had been reduced to a 3-piece. It was Simon, Nick, and myself, and we just had to just stick it out. And it just felt like everybody was saying, no, you're done, next, get off the stage. And we're like, no, we're not getting off the stage. We are here to stay. I think most artists go through that, actually.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know that, there was a little bit of, I don't want to say a break, maybe a lull. And then you guys released the Wedding album.
Yeah.
Did you expect that album to be received the way it was received? Because that was like a serious, a grown-up, that sounds silly, but a grown-up adult Duran Duran.
Well, it was actually quite an experimental. The album itself is really, kind of all over the map. I mean, we're trying all sorts of things. We're trying to like techno music, but it has two of the best songs the band has ever written. And Ordinary World was just one of these songs that once, when we'd written it, you'd play it to people and their faces would change. They'd be like, how did you do that? Wait a minute, how did you do that? Like, almost like wanting to look behind the curtain and say, you must have had some help on that, and then Come Undone was written, as an additional track. We delivered the album, and then we were like, maybe there's another song. If we could get another song that resonates like Ordinary World, we'd really be set. And we got Come Undone. I mean, both of those songs are testament to Warren Cucurullo, who was the guitar player on that album, and he was the guitar player that had replaced Andy Taylor. I mean, we've always been as good as our collaborators. I think that on any kind of artist that has a journey like Duran Duran's, you've got to honor the collaborators along the way, because there's only so much we can do. We're always reliant on people to come into the studio and inspire us. Or, I mean, on this new album, Future Past, we got a stellar cast of guys and girls that have come in and really helped us, because half the time we don't know what we're doing.
Right.
I don't believe that.
Did I say half the time?
I don't believe that.
I don't know how much you're stuck on lyrics, but I have to ask you because I don't know if I'll ever have the chance.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Hungry like the wolf.
Yeah.
I smell like I sound. Now, some lyrics I get from artists, they actually mean something. Others, according to the Beatles, they said, it just worked out. It sounded good, and we put it in. I have to ask about I smell like I sound.
Yeah, but Simon's a real poet, man. And he was into, I would say his two biggest influences were Jim Morrison from The Doors, and Jim loved a good animal metaphor.
Right.
And Patti Smith, who was like really from the Allen Ginsberg, really anything goes kind of, like free associative poetry,
Right.
And I think that's where Simon really knew how to paint a picture. I mean, his lyrics from that period, I think, are just some of the most amazing in rock. And they're like, you could never, it's like what the audiences were digging at that time. It was so much more kind of, they're quite interesting. I mean, if you were getting into Simon's lyrics in the early 80s, I mean, it wasn't shallow. It was deep. But I like the fact. But don't you love that we're still talking about it?
No,
yes.
That you're still trying to figure it out.
I'm just wondering if the other guys looked at him and said, I see this. I smell like I said. Did anybody question him or just go, it's Simon? It's him. He's that way. Let's just go with it.
Well, I think look, man, I'm wearing Psycho this morning. I mean, Hungry Like the Wolf. I mean, it's like, I don't know about you girls, but like every 20-year-old man, I think, knows that feeling.
Okay.
Yeah, as a girl,
I'm on the hunt. I'm after you.
Yeah.
We
felt it. I felt that John Taylor, who they always called the ladies' man, was after me.
There you go.
All right.
There you go. Exactly. See, the girls know.
John, hold on though, Mike. I want to ask real quick. MTV obviously was good to you guys, as it was to so many artists.
Yeah.
You guys did some elaborate videos. Were they? They looked like they were a blast to do, but were they?
Oh, well, yes. I mean, Hungry Like the Wolf, particularly, we did in Sri Lanka. And I mean, like, we rolled into Sri Lanka, like, with our PVC punk pants and our hair dye. And,
yes.
And I mean, like, and 5 days later, we left Sri Lanka looking like we'd just been on safari, in our khakis. I mean, the band underwent a fundamental change, while we're doing that. I mean, the experiences that we had on that shoot were unforgettable. And then they kind of really set something in motion. And that was like, this is a band that is so versatile within this medium. We can do anything. And for a couple of years, it really worked for us. I mean, actually, going back to, how you deconstruct the meaning of a song like Hungry Like the Wolf. Well, when you get to make a video like that, that really spells it out. It's really, the music, to be able to make a video like we made for Hungry Like the Wolf, there has to be color and image, and it has to set the imagination running. And we were very, it was just an amazing time. And again, we had great people working with us.
Both Carla and I have seen the band, and you guys seem to, like a fine wine, get better, in the Hall of Fame performance was a testament to that. But I want to ask, because vinyl is big now, I noticed in the back your rack of vinyl. What do you got stacked in there? What do you got collected in there?
Well, I got everything. I got this is the jazz and classical here. This is the rock. I mean, I've got I've even got this Duran Duran.
What?
But,
No.
That was not planned.
How about
Look at
that? Cream, Wheels of Fire.
All right, very
Up
good.
here we've got Prince.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, no, it's good. It's
all right.
I love it.
That's funny. Is there an album, John, that my dad was with this old group years ago, and they did several albums. And at some point he started looking online at albums, and he said, I don't have that one. I don't have that one. I don't have that one. Is there an album that you don't have of your own bands?
I think I've kind of, at this point, I do have most things.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely, things happen so quickly in the 80s particularly. I wasn't, I just wasn't, mindful enough to keep everything.
Right.
Yeah.
What I'm most excited for now is like the 180 gram versions of the albums, and
wow.
the remasters. I think there's, we've just put out Medazzaland, and before that, I think we put out Red Carpet Massacre and All You Need Is Now. Those were vinyl releases that came out in the last couple of months. But yeah, I mean, it's I love it.
If it means anything to you, I think I have all of your cassettes. So.
Oh wow, yeah.
Well,
so when you're in Vegas, if you need to catch up,
yeah.
And let's talk. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was just going to say, and talking about coming to Vegas. So when you come here, what can Duran Duran fans expect, especially those fans that come to see you day in, day out? I mean, you have a loyal following.
Yeah. Well, this is a fantastic show that we're bringing to Vegas this time around. We've got Bastille opening. We've got Nile Rodgers and Chic, and then we've got Duran. Nile Rodgers and Chic, I will say, is one of the greatest shows on earth. Mm-hmm. What that band and how that band plays and performs, there's nobody out there doing what they are doing.
Right.
It's kind of as if you could just go and see the Duke Ellington big band. There's nothing like it. So that's extraordinarily exciting. Duran, I mean, we're constantly tweaking. The last time we were in Vegas, we did a Halloween show that was like off the charts, insane.
Right.
Yeah.
But this is going to be more of a full retrospective. It's going, look, we're in the entertainment business, so, it's our job to bring the most joy to the building. So we're going to give the people what they want. And then some. That's the plan.
Well,
John Taylor, Duran Duran, thank you.
Yes.
It is an honor to talk to you. We look forward to seeing you guys again here in Las Vegas, August 26th at T-Mobile Arena.
Yes, Psycho.
Thanks, guys.
The cute one. Bye, John.
Bye, guys. Thank you.